here with DJ Sunday Mayo and film critic Mark Kermode. But I've just found out one of your favourite films is Splash.
Yeah, but I think doesn't everybody love Splash? Splash is such a fantastic film. I mean, and it's perennial. I watch it every year at least once. And it's consistently funny and charming and heartwarming and miraculous, and you can watch it with audiences of all ages. Yeah, it's a fantastic one. I'm surprised that you're surprised. Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, no, I'm the stupid one. For...
No, but have you seen Splash?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah.
I think you'd remember. So? You'd remember.
Well, the mermaid. Yeah.
The mermaid one. Yeah, it's the mermaid one, but it's so. Yeah, but it's brilliant. It's absolutely. When you finish it, go home and watch Splash. Your whole life will be improved.
Euros are on at the moment. Maybe give it a month. Now, you've got your first book out. Is this your first book together?
First book together. Yeah, we've both written books on our own. But it's the first one in which we've fought whilst writing.
Movie Doctors. Now, the radio show is hugely successful. It's brilliant. The podcast is off the scale, isn't it? People love it.
They do seem to feel very strongly about it.
50 million downloads or something?
Something like that.
Yeah. I think it's one of the most successful in the world, in the history of the world.
That's probably right. I was in the supermarket just yesterday, and I'm going this way down the aisle. Guy's going down this way, takes his headphones out. He says, I just start to say hello, I'm listening to you, and then puts the headphones back in, and then we carry on. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, so yes, it's quite popular.
What's the success of it? Because it isn't just movies, is it? It's like a culture.
It's not about movies.
Yeah, we have a row about this all the time.
It's not about movies.
Yeah, but it is about movies, but you think it isn't about movies. Here's the thing, you say it's not about movies, it's about life, and I say it's about movies, which is about life. It is about movies, but movies are about everything else.
Lots of people who listen to the programme have no intention of going to the movies at all.
And lots of people who listen to the programme have every intention of going to the movies quite a lot.
If we just made a show for people who were going to the movies that weekend, it would be downloaded by a lot fewer people. But basically...
A lot fewer? That's really not grammatical.
How would you say it?
I feel like I'm looking in a mirror, Tim. I feel it's kind of like, like you and I have a conversation.
Yeah.
So tell us about the book. What's the concept behind the book, then?
It's about cooking, and there's a number of recipes. There's a great veggie burger. Really, really terrific.
We started doing a stage show in which we were on stage and we got an audience in and we asked them, because we were looking at whether movies can change the way you feel about yourself. People have been talking about food making you feel better, whether movies can make you feel better. And Simon would, ask the audience, what's ailing you? How do you feel? And we would suggest movies that would make them better. And then we started writing the book with Simon doing how movies can affect audiences and me doing how movies themselves can be analysed medically to be made better.
And the joke also started because Mark is a proper doctor.
Doctor.
He has a PhD in horror fiction.
No, but yours is so much more valid because yours is, that's right, they gave it to you for just being you.
That's right. That's right. Warwick University, I did a degree there, and it was a bog-off degree. It was buy one, get one free. So I turned up, and I get mine for free. He had to work for 3 years to get his. You figure.
So we are both doctors. Technically doctors, but what we know about medicine wouldn't fill the back of a postage stamp. So
it's an extended medical analogy.
Yeah, movie trivia and medical ignorance.
It's a great book. It's one of those books you could actually just pick up anywhere and start reading.
Philip said, is it a bog read? Correct, it's a bog read.
It is very good. I've not put it down. I keep reading about it. So how many films do you watch a week?
It's about 14, I think.
Do you miss any films, or do you make sure you watch them?
Well, you have to. I mean, the way it works is that, nowadays in UK cinemas, there are something like 13 or 14 films theatrically released every year, and you have to see as many of them as you can. But, of course, stuff goes under the wire. And actually, weirdly enough, when people say things like, well, all the movies out at the moment are superhero movies. No, they're not. The superhero movies are actually a very small portion of movies that are being released, but it may be sometimes that when you look at multiplexes, that's all you see. But, the cinema just opened this week. We have, Embrace of the Serpent, which is this just absolutely wonderful Oscar-nominated movie made by a Colombian director set in the Colombian Amazon. We had Fire at Sea, which is a fantastic documentary. We've had When Marnie Was There, which is a Japanese animated version of the Jodie Robinson novel. And all those things are released, but people still say, but Warcraft is out at the moment. Well, yes, it is, but there is other stuff as well. So you see as much as you can, and it is never a hardship. Believe me, watching movies for a living is the best job in the world.
Are you a nightmare to watch a movie with, then, Mark?
What you mean, as opposed to as a nightmare in general? I mean, Am I a nightmare to watch movies with?
Not, because he's very respectful. It goes back to the code that we were talking about at the very beginning. If you watch... The worst people to watch a movie with are the people who eat, the people who talk, the people who do Facebook while the movie is on. They're the nightmare. Mark will sit there very respectfully. He might take some notes in the dark,
Yeah,
with
not
a
one of those
non-scratchy
mighty up
pen.
pens, which is just silly.
So no, so he's
But then, is he then the worst person to go for a drink with after you've been to the movies? Then.
Well, no, but I mean, in a way, what we've always done with the way in which we talk about movies is it's meant to... See, the thing is, people go and see films, and they come out of films, and they do exactly that. They go to the pub, and they talk about them in a way which is passionate. What they don't do is go, well, if you like this, you might like that. They go, that was the worst film I ever saw. That's actually partly what we've always tried to do. And why are you giving me that look?
well, because I feel a conversation that's moving on to Entourage any minute. Not my job. Not my job. I'm just saying it may well be that. That's where we're going.
OK, I'm sorry.
Did you like
You're presenting.
Did you like Entourage?
I would rather stick pins in my eyes for the rest of eternity than watch that film again.
I saw Entourage before Mark did.
Yeah, you hated it first.
I did. I hated it first. I came out and I just knew that that's what was going to happen. Because the theory with Mark is, and he doesn't rant a lot. Overwhelmingly, he's very positive about movies. But my theory is the theory of the double infection. It doesn't have to be bad for Mark to do that. It has to be offensive. And Mark, when it goes back to Philip's character here, when he's the exorcist, Mark is basically an Old Testament preacher. And if he... if it's one, a very bad movie, and two, a really deeply offensive movie, and I knew he was going to hate it, and I rang the studio offices, suite of offices of our staff...
The radio.
...and said... Are we really going to do this interview? Or are we really going to do this because Mark is going to hate it? So,
But then,
and you were right every single. And one other thing. So, when I did the Daniel Craig interview for the last Bond movie, you get your 7 minutes, right? So I got ushered in, and Daniel's sitting there, and he said, "Oh, hi Simon, how are you?" That Entourage clip went well, didn't it? And so, obviously, he had been talking about it, and they were all talking about it.
But the thing is, people remember bad reviews. People don't remember good reviews. I was talking to Ed about this just in the green room. Of course, you know, Edward said, if somebody said to you, I love your shoes, I love your trousers, I love your shirt, not crazy about your glasses, and the only thing you'd remember was not crazy about your glasses.
Yeah,
and it's true for every film that, in the course of the show, we've been mean about. There are 5 that we've been lovely about.
What did you think of Deadpool?
Oh, I like Deadpool very much, yeah. No,
No, it's great.
Yeah, it is, and it is...
Well, we're running out of time, but it must be quite hard when you interview Hollywood stars and you've been critical of their film, is it? Or...
Well, most filmmakers who are serious about what they do understand that the way criticism works is this thing, and the work they do is this thing. And actually, filmmakers don't make films for critics, and critics don't write reviews for filmmakers.
Plus also, Mark does something different. Mark does the review, and I will usually do the interview. Yeah. And what we're saying when we do an interview is, here is somebody of interest who's made a movie of interest. The only time that wasn't true was probably Jeremy Piven for Entourage. However, it had been a very successful TV series. So we thought, I think all we're saying is, here is a guest you will find interesting. And I think that's perfectly valuable. Even then, if Mark says, interesting but rubbish.
Yeah.
Do they know they've done a horrible film when you interview them?
I think you can see it in their eyes.
Most filmmakers do, and in fact, there is one particular case, and I won't name names. There's one particular case in which you interviewed somebody who walked out of the interview, and that I'm certain that the reason they walked out of the interview was that they knew the film that they were promoting wasn't any good, and they just got fed up with having to say it was.
I wonder which one that was.
I have no idea.
Yeah, we've got so many questions to talk about movies, what makes good movies.
Keep going then, it's your show.
Well, I've got to interview Ed about Deadpool, so...
He'll make way.
Yeah, he said he wasn't bothered. He said, just keep talking about the book. That was the point.
Tom doesn't want to sing.
No,
he's just happy listening and eating food.
Thanks,
I've cooked enough, to be honest.
Simon, and the movie Doctors is out now. Good work.